The Lego city of Brickenham is a giant mess. But it's all for a good purpose. When I began planning Brickenham, I knew that I wanted to light up the entire city at some point. And in our last video, we started laying the groundwork for adding lights, but now it's time to tackle my largest MOC, the Brickmoor Hotel. We started by pulling cable from a USB power bank up through the table. A USB power supply with a 0.8mm plug was then connected to a Mills plate magnetic connector, which in turn plugged into a 6-port expansion board, which could then distribute power throughout the building. Then these 3 modular connectors would allow power to be brought up through each module of the building wirelessly. Using connecting cables, we strung together 4 light plates with 2 LEDs each and placed them on the bottom of the floor above. And then drilled a small hole in the floor to wire another module connector to the floor above, which you can see here. And now each module for the building can be removed independently and without needing to unplug any wires. We also wired the kitchen conservatory building and the souvenir shop building as seen in the last video, along with a few street lamps. And here you can see the completed first phase of lighting in the city. I should say a word here about Bevan's Bricks, which is where I get all my lighting products, and I'll link his website in the description. Daryl also sells custom Lego printed parts, and I've used some of his printed windows for the cafe corner building and the souvenir shop building. All in all, the number of parts needed just to light up the Brickmoor Hotel was huge, as you can see here, but I think the results speak for themselves. And the quality of Bevan's Bricks products is fantastic and still less expensive than other hobby lighting companies. Phase 2 of the lighting plan will involve installing LEDs in the fountain and park, as well as the museum and statue. And Phase 3 will tackle the cafe and bank MOCs. Now we'll switch gears and start working on expanding the city again. I've started designing a custom cathedral MOC which will sit near the museum. But that's for the future. At the present, we're going to start building City Hall, which will sit directly across the park from Brickenham Boulevard. The design for this MOC was inspired by the Brickmoor Hotel in Edinburgh, Scotland, which I visited 2 years ago. It will sit on a 64 by 48 stud Mills plate, though the footprint for the building will be slightly smaller. For today's video, we'll build the basement level of City Hall first, and save the upper floors for later installments. The basement level houses the city archives in one wing and a data center in the other. The exterior walls were built mainly with snot techniques. We also flipped masonry bricks around, using the central groove as a decorative element. And finally topped the walls with 1x1 round plates for additional detailing. And still to come in the next episodes, we'll be adding 2 more floors to City Hall, and then the iconic clock tower at the top. And if you missed the last episode, click on the left to see the souvenir building MOC, or click on the right to see the entire Journey to Brickenham playlist.